experience when commenting, and this is across the board for all the posts. Okay. 2, all right, we improve the way you share. We want you to share because that's the way you grow community. We don't want you to just share internally. I know that internally we don't allow a full sharing experience. We're going to get to that. But externally, you can share about anywhere you want, any social media, SMS, WhatsApp, anywhere, right? And we empower that because it has been proven through data, experience, and years that the best way to grow your community and eventually improve your monetization chances is to, number 1, create content. Number 2, share your content. And sometimes you don't even have to do that share. Some users see great content. I do it all the time. I share it on other social medias and so on. So sharing is an important piece of any flywheel, especially in our business, right? So when you actually tap on sharing, okay, you will see that we changed some of the elements. Before, you were able to still share through DM like you can do today, but you had very small bubbles and it was very limited how many users you could share through DM, right? So now what we did is we're bringing the logic of the latest users or groups that you have interacted in DM. You're going to see them as bubbles. Very similar to what you do when you create an audio room and it actually shows you, because we're also doing is standardizing the look and feel throughout all these verticals. So it becomes more familiar to you. You don't have a different experience here than there, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, they're all the same elements. You have content, you have sharing, and that's all you want to do, right? So we want to make it easy for you, easy to understand, and also empower you to share more, right? So in this case, you're going to see here, I have some of my favorite people on Fanbase. Don't get jealous if I didn't mention you. I know if Noah is listening to this, he's probably going to show up soon and say, hey, man, why didn't you say that I'm your favorite person? These are just some examples. So in this case, I have 9 users that I sent DMs with. So it shows up. So if I want to share this through one of those, I can just click on that and share. But also, I can share through any app through my phone by clicking share. I can copy the link and do that manually, or I can share through X or Instagram as well. And we'll continue developing. If you want to share with someone that is not present here, you can also click on the icon on the upper right-hand side, and then you can share with that user as well. And again, you know you're sharing a piece of content from this post, so it's right on your face, and then when you're done, you can boom, go down and continue experiencing Fanbase. All right. So these are just 2 examples on some of the UX UI changes that we've done. The great thing is that if you're sharing this audio room through sharing, you're going to see that we also change it and we standardize it in there as well. All right, so you'll be able to share it the same way you do with any other post. Again, standardization, familiarity. We're big believers on familiarity and novelty, meaning if we make it familiar for you to use it and love it, we can then start bringing these differentiators, all right? Okay, all right, so let's go now into Flix, okay, because we also did a very small UX UI change here. Let's see if you can. I'm going to go into here and see. I'm going to give you a challenge. What do you think is different here in Flix in the new version, just by looking at the screen? All right. Let's see. I'm going to go into a chat room. I know you probably have questions. I'll go back there. Anything that you notice? No? Yes? Come on, don't be shy. You can see entire screen. Yeah, that happens already in Flix. It's a small detail. Again, we're talking about small UX UI details that does make a difference. I just talk about familiarity and novelty, right? There's something, if you come from TikTok, that you're going to find very familiar, which is, I'm going to go ahead and say it. So we sometimes do change wording, and we do that consciously. So as you know, in January, we had a big influx of users, especially TikTok users that came into Fanbase. A lot of them stayed around and they love Fanbase. And one of the things that we wanted to do is sometimes there's no reason to reinvent the wheel, right? When your mindset is set up on one way of seeing and identifying words, why will you change that unless it really brings you an advantage? So you're going to see, for example, that we changed the naming of the feeds in Flicks to make it very familiar for those that come through from TikTok. So for you, that's the feed where you have recommended flicks and you can go beyond your following, right? And then following is when you actually have the feed of the ones that you're following. Similar that happens to other platforms. Again, make it very simple so you're not confused as like, hold on. Because before we had a different naming that was making it confusing. And through insights and data, we saw that it was a good time for us to change these things. All right, I'm going to give some love. I always like to give random love when I see good content. So if you're getting love because of this, good for you. All right, so this is another example of small UX UI changes that we're bringing into this release. Okay, now let's continue. I'm almost there, and then I'm going to take a break. I'm going to see if you have any questions on the release, and then we'll continue talking about other things. This was just a subset of the release. Another thing that we did in this release, which we announced on Tuesday, okay, is that starting this month, meaning on March 1st, you are going to get paid when you reach the $5 threshold. We lower our threshold to get paid from $25 to $5. That's super exciting because that's all we live for. We get up in the morning. I call Isaac and say, hey, Isaac, how can we get all these great users closer to the minimum threshold, man? We want to pay them. We want to prove the world that the social economy, it's real. And it's the future. The future is that the content has value, and you're going to make money, and it's going to be your full-time job, and you're going to live out of that, and you're going to make a lot of money, right? And we said, you know what? Why not lower the threshold and become the #1 platform with the lowest friction in making money inside a social media creator economy platform? So that's what we did. So in this release, we formalized that. So anyone that makes $5 before March 1st are going to get paid on March 1st. So I encourage everyone to, go out there, keep building your community, create content, share away. It's going to be easier than ever to reach that threshold and then get paid. If you never got paid in Fanbase, this is your chance. I'm telling you, once you do, you're like, oh my God, I just made $5 after 1 month of being in Fanbase, and I've been in Instagram or TikTok for 3 years and I didn't make a single penny. It happens. It's coming. One thing that I will say about this is that I encourage you, very important, is that no matter if you reach 5, 100, 1,000, you have to have your payment profile set up. How you set up your payment profile? You go to your profile. This is my mockup profile. You go into your settings on the upper right-hand side. Then you go all the way down, and in here, you're going to see where it says create payment account. Okay? Now, if you have the old version and you go to how do I get paid, don't get worried. You might still see the $25 there, but it is officially $5. In fact, if you have the latest version, 3.13, you're going to see that we changed it to $5, and we're going to keep it that way. All right? So please make sure you complete your payment profile, because that's the way we can pay you. If your debit card expired, if you don't have your payment profile, no matter how much money you make, we can pay you. Okay? If you have any issues with completing your payment profile, please reach out to support and we'll gladly help you. All right? So that's another thing that comes with this release. Let's see. What else we have here? To choose. Sorry, I want to make sure I don't forget anything. We do, of course, a lot of invisible work. Oh, there's one I want to talk about. All right, because I've seen a lot. I've seen some rooms. I got contacted by ambassadors, by other users, and I want to explain to you the why. All right. So as we build Fanbase, And have in mind that what we're doing, it has never ever be done before. Now, yes, there's other social media platforms, but Fanbase is not just a social media. We are the perfect combination of a social media platform and a creator economy platform. Why? Because we have a creator economy business model, but we have social media features, and we're all about community, right? Now, we're not ad centric like all of the social medias, but again, what we're doing, that combination, which we call the social economy, does not exist. So what we're doing, it's new, it's unique, it's in our own way. We do a lot of things that other ones have done before, but a lot that they haven't. And as such, we learn, we look at data, we try to improve it every day. And one of the things that we promised since day one is that we want an transparent and flawless ecosystem where everyone gets paid what they were given, up to the cent, the penny, it doesn't matter, and we want to give visibility to that. And to build that ecosystem, there's a lot of iterations, a lot of things that you need to consider. So as we grow, you will always have bad actors that are trying to take care of the system, but we're identifying those things. And as we're identifying those things, we're improving the system. Again, everything to drive transparency and have an ecosystem where users really feel comfortable supporting each other, giving money, getting paid, and they don't think like, oh, this is a scam, or why are they asking me for this information, why are they doing that? And that takes time and takes a lot of work. While I'm saying this, I want to give a shout out to Silvana, our CFO, our tech support team, and also everyone in finance and operations that work every month, especially at the end of the month, to make sure that everyone gets paid properly and fairly. They do a lot of work. Even though we have a lot of great automations and so on, we still do a lot of manual checkups, and the team is doing a great job. So where am I going with all of these, guys? Is that in this release, we actually built an automation that allows us to give further transparency and fairness in this ecosystem. For example, this is an ecosystem that has transactions every day, every second, no matter if it's 2 a.m. or if it's 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And there's a lot of users. There's those that buy love, that subscribes, and there are those that receive love and they receive subscriptions, right? So we got to look at every angle of all of this, right? And as such, as you know, all the in-app purchases are happening through the in-app system, right? So when you buy labs, either through through Android or iOS, they go through Google Play or the App Store, right? And as such, there's also scenarios where someone could potentially buy lab, and then they might spread the lab, and then they might want to get refunds for that lab. So what we want to make sure is that when those transactions happen and there is any kind of refund from the App Store, again, we don't control that. It's not like we control the refunds. We give visibility to that, because what you don't want it to happen is suddenly, you made 100 labs, but it then happens that those 100 labs are not the real 100 labs because that user asked for refund. So you need to know about that. So we did implement an automation that notifies you if there's any change on your ongoing revenue. It's the exception, it's not the rule, so nothing to worry about. So if you did receive an email, don't worry. Now we're going to be improving on the messaging and even improving on the automation itself. But again, it all boils down to transparency, fairness in an ecosystem that all we're trying to do is build community, give value to the content creators, their content, and make it fair game for everyone. Okay, so that was something that we released, and as we grow, we're going to be continuing that roadmap, and that roadmap includes allowing you to do more things than just getting paid, more things with the money, also giving you flexibility on when and how you get paid as well. So these are just small things, and again, just giving you visibility so you know how hard we work at every angle in the Fanbase product, and this is an example, all right? And then with that said, we did have some performance improvements. We're going to be doing a lot of performance improvements as we grow. We want to make sure we can sustain all this great engagement, so we'll continue doing that more and more, all right? With that said, that's a summary of version 3.13. Hope you guys download it when it's available. Again, Android, we just released it, so it might take some time, but iOS was released this morning. I always encourage you to download the latest and greatest version and enjoy it. And of course, give us feedback. There's always room for improvement and growth. All right. With that said, I'm going to take a pause from talking, and I want to hear from you and see what questions you have. This time, I'm going to start from the YouTube stream. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing so you can fully see me. Let's see what's going on, guys. Let me see. That's dope. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that some of you guys are streaming my stream through other channels. That's awesome. Yeah, so I know that we have some Fanbassadors in the audio room. I think just to do a retrospective, we could have done a little bit better on communicating this this last feature that I just mentioned, but we'll continue improving on that. Shout out to Rama's teams. You know what? Yes, because you guys have to deal with me every Thursday and hear me talk, but I'm just a piece of the puzzle. I have an amazing team behind me that they have to deal with me every day, but they do an amazing job, and I'm super proud of them. One day people will talk about the Fanbase product team and all the amazing things they achieved. Okay, so shout out to the team. I know some of you are there. Some of them are very shy and they probably have a burner account. Don't be shy. All right, we'll see. Let me see. Someone asked, what is the way? Sorry, did I miss that question? I saw the answer. I guess someone asked, what is the quickest way to increase your revenue? That's a good question that I always like, because if you're a new user, you might be wondering, how can I grow my audience? How can I make money? Simple steps that you can take. We always say it. Start with the basics. Once you download and you have your account, make sure you complete your profile completely, including your image, bio, your category, how you identify yourself. Even if you don't believe you're a creator, everyone in Fanbase is a creator. So complete your profile. Number two, complete your payment profile as well. Just like I mentioned, you never know when are you going to reach that minimum threshold, $5, right? It can happen in a second, it can happen in a day, in a week, but you always want to be ready for that, right? Also, first thing you always want to do, if you have a TikTok account or an Instagram account, go ahead and migrate your content. You can migrate both at the same time. And by doing that, you bring all this content that you created throughout the years, and you can start monetizing with them. And I'm telling you, I've seen with my own eyes. I've seen people that have been in those platforms for years. They came into Fanbase, they migrated, and in the first week, they made $1. And they're like, oh my God, this is for real. You can make money. It happens. All right. And then I always encourage going to the audio rooms. Now, you don't have to talk. You don't have to participate, but that's a great way to build community. Create a camp. If you go to audio room on the upper right-hand side, you can create a camp or join a camp. There's a lot of camps that already exist. If you're a big fan of sport or specific type of music, there's camps for everyone, and that's how you build community, and that's how you connect. And as you connect, you gain supporters, and you also can support at the same time. So those are simple things that you can do. One thing that I didn't mention that is also important is if you have a link aggregator. I call link aggregators like Linktree, anything that allows you to put all your links in one place, put your Fanbase profile in there. It's been proven that everyone that uses a link aggregator like Linktree and put their Fanbase profile, they actually bring larger audiences, and they have a better chance of monetizing, right? So there goes your answer. Hopefully that helps. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go into the. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use my mockup account to go into the chat room. So in that way, we I'll actually might stop with my. I'm just gonna do it here. Never mind. All right, let's see. Let's go. I'm going to go all the way to the top. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat room. I apologize if I missed anything. Let's go one by one. Let's see. What else? Captions. Oh, sorry. You guys were guessing what I was asking. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about a pretty cool campaign that we have going on for Valentine's. I saw some of you talking about it. All right. Someone asked, how do you get into the recommended feed? Creating content and creating great content. It's a lot of variables, but that's really how it is. And our algorithm, including moderation, consists of, if I have to define it, on 3 different pillars. One of them, automation, right? Another one is we actually do a lot of manual, so we're always looking for great content as well. I'm a big believer that algorithms are great and they can be almost perfect, but there's no such thing as a perfect algorithm. So human intervention at all times is a must, because we need to keep this human, especially in an environment like Fanbase, where it's not an ad-centric algorithm, it's user-centric, content-centric. So we want to make sure that we're not missing any piece of content. And then there's also the crowdsource, where we have creators and users recommending content and sharing content and so on. So that's a great way. Just continue, be consistent. Consistency is key. It's not easy, guys. Nothing in this world is easy. This is coming from a guy that took him 5 years of working really hard in Fanbase to even get to this point. Just be consistent when you create content, engage, share, support too. What goes comes back, right? So that's a great way. Let me see. Mo, if you created a ticket, those should be able to help you. Don't worry. But there shouldn't be anything in the camps. I see my camps, so. Would be dope if the videos start faster, making it more seamless, Clore. Yeah, I hear you, Jay. We refactored the feed last year, and that gave us a lot of performance improvements and experience improvements, but there's still a lot more that we can do. And we are looking into those types. One of the things that I'll talk about for this release that we're working on very significant architectural improvements. And when we do architectural improvements, that has an effect on how you scroll, how much data your phone uses, all those things. So what it might seem that we're not tackling that directly, we are doing a lot of things that will make the experience better and more seamless. But I hear you. All right. Miss Miriam, yep, $5 threshold starting now. So not March 1st. March 1st is when we want to pay you at least $5. So starting now, anytime you make $5, you're getting paid. All right. Let's see what else. I see a question about the buying the lab and the bonus, and I'll answer those as well, because I did see internally that conversation. All right. Let's see. I'm going to see if there's any other questions. When will Fanbase allow master moderators to block someone from entering an audio room or camp? Good question. While we know we still have some improvements on the block functionality, blocking someone from a public audio room is something that we intended at the time not to allow. Okay, and this is a conversation that even when Isaac used to join my audio rooms, he used to talk about it. Everyone else was like, Isaac, why are you not letting you block someone that keeps coming in the public audio room? Public audio rooms are public, which means you want everyone in the world to see it, right? If not, you would either do a private, you would do an exclusive, and then the private you would invite. So you also, as a master moderator and even moderator, you have control of who you have on stage and who you have in audience. Now, if you believe that someone that you kicked out should not be able to even see you, hear you in an audio room, then I understand that concern. And I'm not discarding we might not do that in the future because we see that use case. But I'm trying to give you a perspective on how in public audio rooms we really want to open it up and give as much freedom as possible. Again, there's use cases where that might not apply, and we'll look into that. So, but we know that there's definitely a lot more that we can do with blocking and even giving privacy on public content. Okay. All right, let's see. Do the user need to have the latest update to activate the $5 threshold? Great question, Paige, because maybe I might have confused you guys with what I said. No, you need the latest version. You just need to be on Fanbase, engage, create content, share, support, be you without limits. And that's the only requirement we have for you to get. So all we did in this release is adjust some of the texts within the app so it doesn't create confusion. But you don't need the latest version to make the minimum. All right. Can you give me an ebook? I've never been good with lectures. Me neither. I'm a big Audible type guy more than reading. So maybe one day. Let's see what else we have here. Sorry, guys, I'm going through all the comments, making sure I don't miss anything. Some of them I already answered. Is every tech talk and town hall going to be done via watch party? I would like to navigate the app while still being able to listen. I hear you. Not necessarily. In fact, our last two, I believe, town halls, that were not watch parties. I love watch parties because it just makes it more real. You guys see me. It's just a more personal experience. I understand the limitation that when it's a watch party, you cannot continue doing other things to listen. So that's something that we need to add in the future. And I want to do it because I think it's great. It will be amazing, just like you would do with YouTube when you minimize the app. You can still at least hear me, right? So I hear you. On my side, on my tech talks, I'm always going to try to bring the watch party just a thing because it's a more personal experience. And in fact, I want to start bringing guests. I have so many great friends in the technology world that I want to bring, but my weeks are so crazy, guys, that the fact that I'm able to do a watch party is just a miracle. And so just be patient with me. One day I'll bring guests as well. But JC, in the future, we want to work into allowing watch party to continue even though you minimize the app. All right. So that's something that's on us. All right. Let's see what else we have. What else we have? Oh my God, I'm starting to see Android versus Apple fights. Watch out. Let me see. Following the comments, the refund issue was people doing chargeback with Apple. Yeah. But again, it's just chargebacks is something that could happen. We make it very easy, and you have to confirm several times to make a purchase. And I'm not saying we're perfect, but we really spent a lot of time on the purchasing journey. So for you to, we did actually, you just remind me of something that I do want to mention because it's been shared before. There's a crazy scenario. So once in a while, we find these crazy scenarios. If you have iOS 16, okay, currently iOS 18 is the latest. So if you have an iOS 16, you might have a very, very old phone. Unfortunately, because we're a small team, we can't support every single device, especially on Android. There's 20,000 plus devices. And because of such, as technology grows and we have new versions, new hardware, we have to stick with the latest versions. Otherwise, it makes the business inviable because, we got to be supporting all these. Yesterday I got an investor asking, hey, can we have Fanbase on Windows and Fire Stick? I would love to have Fanbase everywhere on the cars and everywhere, but we have to focus where it gives the most value to the most people. So if you have iOS 16, okay, there was a scenario where, and this is because Apple deprecated something in their Swift UI, where you would give a love and it will count that as a big love, all right? And we had, again, this was the exception of the rule. We had some users saying, hey, I tried to give one love and it made 1,000 loves. I was like, that's impossible. We couldn't recreate it. Well, like, that's not happening until one of our lead iOS that is always constantly proactively looking at data and looking, though, like, look, there's this crazy scenario that anyone that has iOS 16 could run into this scenario. So those are very rare scenarios. And I'm saying this because I said that we really spent a lot of time on the purchasing journey, and it's almost perfect. In this release, we actually disabled Big Love for iOS 16 because that's the only solution. So if you still are one of those users that have a very old phone and you have iOS 16, get the latest version. You won't have that problem anymore, but you won't have Big Love. The solution is upgrade your iOS version if you can, but if your hardware does not allow you, unfortunately, we don't have another solution, and we're hoping that you make enough money on Fanbase, so then that helps you buy a new phone and you can upgrade it, right? So that's just an example, and I appreciate you guys asking that question because I almost forgot. So if you're one of those, now you know why you were not crazy. You were right. All right? All right. Yeah, Android, be patient. Might not be available yet, but it will be available soon. Okay. Let's see. All right. Let me see what else we have. Oh, guys, don't fight on Android and Apple. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, guys, I'm going through that. Rama, why does it? Sorry, I missed that one. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to. So much going on in the chat room. All right, let's see. Why wouldn't you have filtered the complaints by device and OS first? Guys, we get a lot of feedback every day, and we move with the small team we have. We move by patterns and numbers. When you have 2 out of 10,000 pieces of feedback saying one thing, if you expect a small team of 20 to stop everything they do for 2 out of 10,000, then we're not doing our job. And if you're an investor and users, you should be mad at us. So believe me, we filter by iOS and we do patterns. But when you are at this level, you gotta move by what moves the needle the most. You can't just tackle every single corner, because if not, then you're gonna end up in nothing. All right. Can someone make the likes to be monetized as well, or just the loves? So we don't want to do that, and I'll tell you why. I go back to the concept of familiarity is important, so then you can bring what differentiates you, which is the novelty, right? Likes allows anyone that doesn't feel comfortable with spending money into engaging. You can still comment without spending money. I always ask this question, and in fact, we sometimes get bad reviews saying, I can't believe I have to pay to use Fanbase. You don't have to pay to use Fanbase. Fanbase is completely free, okay? You can come into Fanbase, sign up for free, create content for free, engage for free. You can comment, you can like. Now, if you want to support or you want to earn money, okay, you can then buy labs, you can subscribe, you can receive labs, or you can earn subscriptions. That's a freemium model. And we want to keep it that way, because we want to, just like we just lowered the threshold to $5, we want to remove any barriers or friction for you to love Fanbase and make money in Fanbase. And sometimes making decisions such as leaving like for free, and just like it works in any other platform, is intended. And we're going to continue doing that. Now, we are going to be bringing other revenue streams. I'm going to get creative with that. But we want to maintain the freemium model for a very, very long time, because we want users to want to be here without having the pressure to have to buy or spend. Now, naturally, they will do it. It happens to everyone. Even if you don't want to, you will be part of the social economy, and you're going to go through what we call the social rehab, where you're going to find out they're like, you know what? I can't believe I just bought 100 labs to support that creator. I never thought I would pay for content, but you will, just like we all do. Promise you. All right. All right, guys. Let's, oh my God, it's 5:48 already. Sorry. Okay. Let's continue. I know I might not have answered all the questions and answered all the comments, but we need more than an hour. We need like 10 hours. Let's talk a little bit about the new sprint. Sorry, I mentioned that we just finished sprint 111. We have a new release, version 3.13 for both iOS and Android. But we started a new sprint. And as such, we're working, or we'll continue working on a lot of really great stuff. We're going to continue with the UX UI improvements. Now, we're going to do a deep dive into DM, okay? As you know, we have a DM functionality. You can DM individually. You can DM as groups. You can make money in the DM. You can go down in the DM. You can give love on the DM too. And as such, we want to continue pushing into driving engagement and driving sharing in DM. So we are going to be doing UX UI adjustments on DM as well. Okay, so that's being worked and is eligible for release next sprint. Eligible means that we're going to do our best to put it in there, but sometimes if we don't feel like it's ready with the standards that we want to release it, then we won't do it and we'll do the release after, okay? Let's see, what else we have here? We actually are doing performance improvements on the feeds. So whoever asked about the experience from going to one video to the other one in the feed is going to be impacted by this improvement as well, which I'm excited. We are doing a pretty large architectural improvement at the infrastructure and also at the software level, which I'm excited. I can hide my nerdiness. And why I'm excited is because this will have a very significant impact on all the different content verticals, especially audio. As we grow, we're starting to see audio rooms of 300, 400, 500 users. And when you get to a point, we're starting to see small things that might affect experience. And these type of architectural improvements are going to help with that and beyond. So the team is working on that, and that's eligible to go live in a couple of weeks. Okay. Besides that, we're continuing working on SSO. We are going to allow users to sign up through Google and Apple, so we can make the signing up as seamless as possible. If you are already an existing user, you'll be able to sign in if you have a Google or an Apple account as well, so don't worry. So we'll make it easier for you. But again, who logs out or deletes Fanbase? No one, right? Why would you ever do that? Better say that. No. So yeah, that helps if you are a new user or existing user. Let's see, what else? We're doing some improvements on migration for TikTok and Fanbase, from TikTok and Instagram. I don't know if you knew, but you can also migrate from web as well. We have the Instagram migrator on web. So we're going to be doing some improvements there. We're doing some, this is exciting. We're doing some proof of concept with some, all I'm going to say is some AI with Flix. Big tease, right? But we're doing so. I can't wait to get my hands on that. Hopefully this week or next week, I'll be able to play around with some AI features that we're going to be bringing to Flix very soon. So the team is working on that. What else we have here? Let's see. Sort of invisible work that is going to help at every angle as well. Oh, we're working on improving our moderation system. I am excited about that because once we get that, it's going to put us at a different level where we can actually start being more, even more bold and more flexible on the feeds, how we recommend things. And this, for example, will impact live as well. So if you're a big live super user, you got to get excited about that. So the team is working on that. That's going to take at least 2 or 3 sprints, but it's going to come this quarter for sure. Better moderation inside Fanbase. I talked earlier about keeping a fair and healthy ecosystem, and that has to do also with protecting our users and, from the type of content that might be out there. All right, so that's just, a subset of everything that we're working on Sprint 112. Again, if everything goes well, we're going to have a new release in 2 weeks. So start getting exciting. With that said, we have about 5 minutes left. There's a lot more to talk about, but I want to make it all about you. So let's see if I missed any questions or comments you might have. I'm going to start on the YouTube stream. What about the people cashing out at 5? Is that more work for accounting? I love that question, Joyce. Those are the kind of questions that sometimes you don't think about, right? As a user, you're like, oh, that's great, $5, but you don't understand the impact. Yes, it is. Well, yes and no, and I'll tell you why. Yes, it is more work in the sense that there's more validations that need to be done. We still have some manual steps in our workflow, and we do that purposely because we want to have, at this stage, full control of who gets paid, how, and why. That's super important. So they do have more work, but on the account side, I think it will be a great thing because we actually have a lot of users that are between the $5 and $25 threshold that were not able to get paid yet. And now we can pay you, which means that, because I remember I told you, we're all about paying you. We want to pay you, which means that now we're clearing out these accounts and we're giving you the money so you can go and do amazing stuff. So if you think about it, that from an accounting perspective is a good thing, right? So it's a good thing. Yes, it has, it's a bad thing in the sense that we're going to have more work. It's okay. That's what we're here for. And it's a good thing because it also allows us to clear all these accounts and, allow us to recycle and start fresh in month 1. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go into the chat room and see what other questions you have. We have 4 minutes left. Less payables on the books. I love it. I see some accountants in the audience. Oh, sorry. I forgot something important. I want to remind everyone, as we approach tomorrow, Valentine's Day, okay, we have a Valentine's campaign going on. If you purchase 100 labs, you're going to get 100 bonus labs, okay? You get 2 for 1, right? Now, that happens one time. I know some of you say, hey, if I buy 3 times 100, does that mean that I'm going to get 3 times 100 bonus labs? And the answer is no. It's only one time. We're testing this out. Don't get frustrated. We might change that in the future. But I encourage everyone, if you want to support your favorite creator, this is the time because you can buy 100 labs, 99 cents. That's nothing. I mean, there's less than a coffee or anything. And you get an extra 100 labs that you can use out there in Fanbase, okay? So kudos to the product marketing team. They've been doing some great work. And there's more exciting things coming up in the near future as well. All right, so check that out. All right. Why is the low threshold of the 100 labs? Is this like giving someone their first taste for free? Kind of. A lot of times I always say when it comes to user experience, what is fascinating is that no one has the magic potion of what works for a platform. And no one has it but the user itself. And a lot of times you have a lot of different users. Users are different. So the best way to get closer to that magic equation or potion is to test things out and to do pilots of things, right? So to answer this is as we start bringing these reward campaigns, yes, we're going to start small. But then as we get more comfortable and as we improve the experience and so on, we're going to get more bold and bigger and better. So be patient. This is one of the first times we do a campaign with bonus labs, but I foresee in the future it's going to be a lot more coming up. Guys, someone said, okay, so he's not answering the questions about the hard refunds. I talked about it. I spent like 5 minutes about it. Maybe you guys missed it. What we do now is we have a layer of automation that anytime there's any refund from anyone, we identify that right away. And the fair thing is that if someone purchases labs and then spreads them out, but then he asks for the refund, that money has to come from somewhere. And if that user didn't genuinely give those labs, then that refund has two actions. So if you did receive an email explaining you why you might have $1 and now you have 99 cents, because what we've seen is that these are very small transactions, is because someone asked for a refund and they're getting the money back. That's the straight answer. And the reason behind all of this is we want transparency, we want a fair and equal ecosystem where if you're truly supporting someone, you're truly supporting, you're giving that money and you want to, you mean it. Most of the times I understand that refunds can happen, but our journey in purchasing is pretty solid and you got to confirm a lot of times to buy stuff. So this is the exception, not the rule. So if you got an email, you shouldn't be worried. It's just normal. You know what's the difference between now and a year ago? That a year ago, you probably didn't get notified. So we're giving you transparent and we're being transparent with you. So you should be happy about it. All right. All right. Can you set up an Apple versus Android battle? We have to, man. We have to. I know I keep saying that. Let's do it. Let's just put a date. Let's do it outside my Thursday Tech Talk so we make it fun. I promise I'm going to organize an Android versus Apple. And I'm going to bring my Apple developers and my Android developers. I'm going to make them judges. Ooh, how awesome is that? We're going to do a panel. I'm going to let you guys go at it and start comparing. And then we'll do like a lab party. What do you think about that? I love it. I want to fight you too. Oh, I love it. All right, let's see what's going on. Anything else that I might have missed, guys? Let me see. You know what I didn't do? I didn't give you labs for the great questions. I'm going to go in there and go crazy lab. I'm giving lab to all of you. All right. If I didn't give you lab, I'm sorry, but you got so many users. If you're a first-time user, here is a chance for you to get closer to that $5 threshold and you to see that you actually make money even if you didn't create content. Commenting, asking great questions is creating content in Fanbase. Everyone can make money from day one and everyone is a creator in Fanbase. So here we go, I'm giving labs. Awesome. All right. It's 6:01. Don't worry, guys, if I didn't answer your question. Again, there's so many questions and comments, so if I missed anything, I apologize. But this is not your only space for you to be able to talk to us. Tell me how many platforms out there have the founder and CEO, the CTO, and all the team members every week spending the time to talk to you and hear your feedback. Not a lot, right? We do this, in my case, every Thursday at 5 p.m. So next Thursday, I'll be here again. We also have our town hall Tuesdays on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, Isaac and myself. That's more investor-centric. The marketing team also has an audio room on Wednesday at 5 p.m. There's a lot of other amazing audio rooms that the ambassadors are having and doing that I encourage you. And at any given time, you can shake your phone, you can email us at support@fanbase.app, and we'll be listening from the other side. Again, tech support, so you know, is still catching up from the January influx. We had 500,000 new users in January, but they're doing a great job and they're very close to catching up with all the tickets. So we haven't responded to you yet. We will soon, so we appreciate your patience. With that said, I hope you come and join me again next Thursday at 5 p.m. I hope you enjoy the new version. Download it 3.13 for both iOS and Android. Android might take a little bit longer because it was just released. And we'll continue getting better every sprint, every line of code. That's my promise to you. As imperfect yet aspirational perfectionists, because we always want everything to be perfect. We have a beautiful monster in our hands, and it has its complexities. We're still a small team. That's why we're raising money in startengine.com/fanbase, because as we raise more money, we're able to get better, grow our team, and start tackling more things, and start bringing more value to you. So I want to say thank you for listening to me today, and I expect you join me again next Thursday. All right. Hope you have a great rest of the week, and we'll be talking. Thank you, guys. Take care. What I'm gonna do before I leave is I always like to leave you guys with our Fanbase promise. And even though it's the 150th time I've seen it, I still get chills because I still believe in it. So if you haven't seen it, please stick around so you can see it, and you can see what we're all about. For those in YouTube, I'm going to close the stream. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next Thursday. Take care.
Right? Okay. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, you are meeting Prime Minister Modi of India this afternoon. What kind of trade and tariff relations you would like to have with India, and what's the vision for India-US?
Yeah, India traditionally is the highest, just about the highest tariff country. They charge more tariffs than any other country. And I mean, we'll be talking about that. But again, whatever they charge us, we're charging them. So it works out very well. It's a beautiful, simple system. And we don't have to worry about, we're charging too much or too little. But traditionally, India is right at the top of the pack, pretty much. There are a couple of smaller countries that are actually more. But India is they charge tremendous tariffs. I remember when Harley Davidson couldn't sell their motorbikes into India because of the fact that India, the tax was so high, the tariff was so high. And Harley was forced to build, I guess they built, I don't know, that was a while ago, but I think they built a factory in India in order to avoid paying the tariffs. And that's what people can do with us. They can build a factory here, a plant or whatever it might be here. And that includes the medical, that includes cars, that includes chips and semiconductors, that includes everything. If you build here, you have no tariffs whatsoever. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think our country is going to be flooded with jobs.
What should consumers expect? Are prices going to go up short-term,
well,
long-term?
Not necessarily. I mean, not necessarily. But I'll tell you what will go up is jobs. The jobs will go up tremendously. We're going to have great jobs for everybody. This is something that should have been done many years ago. China did it. I mean, China did it at a level that probably nobody's ever seen before. If you manufactured a car, you couldn't send it into China. The tariff was so high. So everybody went and they built in China. It was no big secret. So we're going to see, but it's going to mean tremendous amounts of jobs. And ultimately, prices will stay the same, go down. But we're going to have a very dynamic country.
But if prices go up, Mr. President, because of these tariffs, who do you think voters should hold responsible?
Oh, I think what's going to go up is jobs are going to go up, and prices could go up somewhat short term, but prices will also go down. And I think the farmers are going to be helped by this very much because product is being dumped into our country, and our farmers are getting hurt very badly by the last administration.
All right. Thanks for listening here in Memoirs Podcasting. Yeah, I got a little clip of the Trumpster. Okay. We'll see what happens, right? I have no more comments on that last scene. Hope you stick around for the next episode of Rama Tech Thursday. Come on, download the app and join in on the convo. Au revoir, tout à l'heure.